got to be careful.
I'm dancing in Walmart.
Awesome. Bueno.
Where is the bananas? Where do I find the fizzy drinks?
Such a great song.
Do you sell duct tape?
I see you on the keyboards, dude. You're kicking it.
The pinky's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little broken. Now I was stiff hand. I'm feeling better now.
Nice.
All the Claritin and everything.
All right. Golf Talk Radio with Mike Billy back in. Thank you for joining us.
Talk about it.
So I just realized something that actually I think we're going to have to listen to this. Oh, it faded out. Pop said he had to step away, and I was...
No, you want to hear it?
No, I thought maybe you stepped away and let the music go. And I thought, well,
because we were dancing. I thought we were on
a little while.
We'll be dancing in the studio for the first 5 minutes.
Grab yourself a grocery cart and boogie with Mike.
All right, let's go to Nicki.
Well,
she's been patient.
The wonderful Nicki Anderson's been with us for many, many years. Realtor, as we know, but she's a golf extraordinaire. She plays in a lot of the NCGA tournaments. She's been a rules chairman and a president of her club, and she is moving on. And she goes to the tour in Hawaii and works as a what's your official title there?
Walking scorer.
You're a walking scorer there. So golf is a big part of your life, is it not?
You know, I was thinking that on the way up. It's been 10 years since I picked up a club, and golf has become a gigantic part of my life. Yeah,
wow.
10 years.
And in one of those years, you were in a cast doing the one in a little brace around your shoulder, and you're still doing all right.
Yeah.
Well, what's been going on? And Nicki's been doing training for the NCGA to be a course rater and a tournament official, which is these are people volunteer. You see them at the golf courses during tournaments. They have their jackets on, looking cool. But you see things behind the scenes. They go. Mike just had this done at his course, and he knows everything about it. But every golf course that you go to, especially if you're an avid player, you look at the scorecard and it has a slope and it has a course rating. And that kind of that
what
chart.
What does that mean?
I know. God, we've had 5 shows on that and still no one really knows. and they're changing all this stuff too, I believe. Yeah. But anyways, those numbers are come from a committee from the golf associations, and it's very scientific. Yes,
it's very scientific,
and it's kind of neat. So these people go out there, and Mike just had it done every 6 years. Mike said his was done every 3, but every 6 years they go to different courses because things change, and the conditions could change, ownerships can change, and then they go out and they look at different things to rate a course, based on its playability.
Right,
is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So tell me about your training. As you said, it's a 2-day thing, and
it's a 2-day thing, and it was a fire hose approach. Which
they sprayed you down, huh?
Oh boy, yeah.
Is that what that means? They just flood you with stuff?
Flood you with
That's
stuff.
What that means?
Yeah. But it was super interesting because I went into it not really knowing, how it was done. But I've always been interested in being a course rater, especially because I thought, well, there's not very many women doing it. I'd like to get in and have my opinion in there, and I find out there's no opinions involved at all. It's so analytical.
Well, how can you fit in there?
Well, it's super analytical.
Because you've been known to have opinions.
I do have opinions. I guess there are some opinions. There's some, 50-50 kind of things, but very, very analytical in how they approach it. So it was super interesting. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're kind of taking your ball flight into consideration versus the you know what I mean?
Yes. Right. And what I realized is really, truly, they're rating the course for what they have as a scratch player. They have this
like Mike
player in their mind
I do
who
scratch
has certain
while I play.
Characteristics. And they've made up this imaginary scratch player and an imaginary bogey player. And those players, they have very specific characteristics of how they play. And that's what they're rating the course for.
Do they dress well?
They always dress well.
Okay, that's huge.
They rate
Do
the
they
course
accompany you when you go on the golf course?
one on one shoulder, one on the other.
Wow.
But it's really super interesting because it's so analytical.
So let me ask you, because years ago when there was just a course rating, the rating was, par was 71, but the rating was 68.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that basically just based on yardage years ago?
A lot of it is yardage, yes, a huge amount of yardage.
And then this is before the slope rating came around. This is one, I'm dating myself way back, but you look to par, the length, they just looked at how far the par 3s, par 4s, par 5s, and compared.
And wasn't it forced carries with that and number of bunkers or something?
Well, that's when I started.
There's a whole bunch.
Well, there's 10.
This is the old school, the forced slope. I think.
And
I
so
Well, the slope comes in with the bogey golfer. That's the difference between the scratch golfer and the bogey golfer.
So when you see one that's a rating 75.5 or something, that's because he's a 7,800-yard golf course or something. I mean, they used to be. Don't quote me on those numbers. I'm just firing them out.
Yeah.
But the longer the golf course, the higher the rating used to be.
And more carries.
Right. And then they started to do these obstacles. And so it's interesting. I find the training you did, that you start with or when you go to a golf course, I don't know how your training went, but you start with obstacles. There's a team of you go out and look at all there's 10 of them.
Yeah.
Do you know the 10?
I can probably make a good shot at that.
All right, because it says there's a process that these people
yeah.
are out there, and the evaluation begins with a group of 4 volunteers heading on the front and a group of 4 volunteers heading on the back. So there's 8 of you that go out there, and you evaluate 10 obstacle factors on the golf course to affect the playing. What are those things you're looking at?
Like fairway, topography, bunkers, forced carry, crossing obstacles, trees.
Crossing obstacles?
Yeah.
Like going like rivers? Okay.
Like if, for example, if something is stopping you from being able to hit a full shot,
okay,
because it would be in your landing zone.
Yeah, they got a few of those
kind of
at the ranch course in Alisal, where you've got to have almost hit iron first, and then you can on a par 5 you have to lay up with iron because you can't get the mic might be able to go over. But I see what you mean. Yeah. So you're looking at all of this stuff,
all that stuff, and shoot.
How about to the prevailing winds?
No, they don't really.
Because there are such things as prevailing winds.
Yeah, there are.
Right?
The thing is, they're not, always. We rate for the middle of the season typical day. Okay. So
there you go. Did you hear that, Mike?
July.
Mm-hmm. So did you know that, Mike?
Yes.
So if there's a certain amount of roll that you expect a ball to have on the fairway, you're not rating it for February when it's rain soaked or whatever.
Okay. And so that's the day. You do that the first morning. And then you go out and you do playability, or the playing portion of evaluation. Right. What is that? What's the difference between obstacle factors, which we just talked about, all the different things that could be, I didn't know the fairway was an obstacle. But
the length, the width of the fairway.
Oh, yeah.
So you measure the fairway
skinny
width,
fairway, fat fairway.
Yeah, and where the landing zones are and where the obstacles are in the fairway according to the landing zone.
Wow, and so this is all marked down in your little tablets and it's all technology, or you write it on paper?
We're writing it on. There's a whole.
Look at that.
There's a whole sheet. Look,
Mike, you knew that, right?
This is for each hole. You have all that information.
Yeah, that's cool.
You knew that, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah.
I did, because it just happened. It literally just happened at our golf course, and I was fascinated by this. I hadn't seen this.
And were you holding that piece of paper the whole time, Mike? Just checking things out?
No, they wouldn't let me touch it.
Okay.
They were very particular about
very private about your little stuff there, huh?
Yeah.
Did they tell you that you can't let anybody see this thing because this is yours? That's all right. What's good? Off air. We'll talk off air.
Really cool. Then what happens after you go through? There's people that are doing the front 9, and there's people that are doing the back 9. And it's always a woman and a guy together as a team for each of those teams that goes and does.
What was your guy's name?
Well,
we haven't done it yet.
We haven't done it yet.
I hope it's Frank.
I hope so. But so you go through the exercise, and then you meet afterwards, and people talk, because sometimes people will rate things a little bit different, and then you have some discussion about why you feel one way or another. And then when you go out and play, like let's say you've done a stimp on the greens, and you think it's going to be this much, and so you rank it in terms of what the green target rating is for coming in from certain distances. And then you play it, and you find out that the green slopes way more than you thought when you were first looking at it.
You actually go play.
You actually go play.
So you look at your little charts that you've evaluated, then you go out there and you play.
Yeah, and then
so you get to play all these courses.
Yes.
Aha! Now it's making tons of sense. Very cool.
And then you come back and you revisit your rating.
That's a whole day event.
And
you get to play all these courses.
Exactly, with friends.
And Frank. This is very cool, man.
Yeah.
So what if you signed up for a day, you make these appointments, and you get there and it's pouring? Do we reschedule?
I don't think so.
You got to think about it, right? Because
No,
you want your typical day and the typical rollout.
Well, you already know that, all that information. You're not measuring.
How was the weather the day they showed up at your place, Mike?
It was beautiful. It was early October.
And was it well planned in advance?
Yes.
So if they would have showed up on bad conditions?
Yeah, we booked it in either May or June of that same year. It was booked.
And then once you gather, that's awesome. Once you gather all your data and you can compile it, how long does it take before you shoot back the golf course? Here are your new numbers.
Oh, I don't know the answer to that.
It took, October, 5 months.
So it's
4 months.
And you said you were surprised
Really?
a little. Your numbers changed.
I was surprised, and as an operator, these are the little things, but as an operator, like they did it in October, and they're like, hey, we'll probably have this to you by beginning of December, and it ended up being like almost February by the time we got it.
I think part of that was that they
got a big backup.
Complaint department, Studio B, buddy.
Yeah, but the thing was, so I already knew that our slopes had dropped. Our course rating went up on most of our tees. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, we've got 1,000 scorecards left. What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I roll the dice on this? What's the weather going to be
good
like?
Point.
Because I've got to order 10,000 scorecards.
Right.
And if I order 10,000 scorecards
And things
with the other
change.
rating on it, and then once the ratings come out, they contact the professional, like, okay, do you want us to make them active? And so we had to kind of coordinate that. We made it, but even after it was already rated and the everything was in place, we held off actually instituting the new ratings for probably 10 days.
So it's very fascinating for the people listening who don't know what it means. Is those numbers dictate a lot, especially for tournament player, match player, league play. And handicapping, for handicapping.
Well, and then that coincided with the new Golf Genius, where things are every day.
Yeah.
The handicap's updated every single day.
Yeah.
So our rating changed, which is already going to change. Our slopes went down. So that most players' handicaps, a lot of them are going down. And actually, they did. And then when they reported every day now on the rounds, there's so much fluctuation now at our course with so many of the players. They're like, my handicap's not right. It's like
because
it's
changing all the time.
Yeah.
Remember years ago, and I won't mention names, but we worked at a golf course, and it was many, many years ago, Mike, maybe 15, 18 years ago. But the key was to get your rating high because that was an attractiveness for people to go play. So we would lengthen tees and stuff, put them in almost impossible places.
We built a championship set of tees that were
way back. So when they got
Which
the
was
rating,
kind of fun.
they got the rating back. It went up like 4 shots.
It went up a lot.
So when someone looks at the scorecard online, or I don't even know if that was online, and someone asks, well, our course rating's now 74.4. Ooh, must be awesome. Let's go play. And that was what the traction was. Now it's switching.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to play those really hard. The average player. There's like a small percentage of people want to play a course rating that's over the par.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the mental side of just someone looking at the scorecard on the course rating and the yardage, what they think. Like, this is like under 6. This is easy. I don't want to play this.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You got to go play it.
You got to play it.
And then they come back and they go, oh my gosh, this course
Well,
way
that's
harder
when the
stuff.
slope is neat. You got a low rating, but a high slope.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by McPhee'sGrill.com. Check out McPhee'sGrill.com today. Give them a call at 805-434-3204. Stay with us. We will be right back.
I think it's awesome you get to play this course.